Right now, let's bring in Dr. Joanne Pike. She's the Chief Program Officer at the Alzheimer's Association. Thanks for coming on our show today.
Thank you. It's great to be here today.
What are the findings from the 2019 Alzheimer's Association Facts and Figures report?
Some of the biggest findings that we found in our report is really the simple numbers and the continued growth in the burden of this disease. 5.8 million Americans are living with Alzheimer's, and another 16 million are providing unpaid care for those with dementia or Alzheimer's. The cost burden continues to grow as well, and for the third year in a row, we are seeing the cost of Alzheimer's go over $250 billion.
Are you seeing some rays of hope, some advances perhaps in research?
There are certainly advances in research that we are very excited about. The fact is when this country invests in research, we see advances. We saw advances in diseases like cancer, heart disease, HIV, and breakthrough treatments that came with that when there was significant resources put towards that in research. And ultimately, we need to see that those same investments made in Alzheimer's research as well.
Why are the costs rising?
The costs continue to rise because, number one, more people are being diagnosed with Alzheimer's. As the baby boomers continue to age, there are going to be more people in the age group that is most affected by Alzheimer's. However, the cost continues to rise also from the standpoint of the cost of Medicare and Medicaid to this country continue to increase. In addition, the costs that are becoming unsustainable from an out-of-pocket perspective. One thing to consider is that if a family member has Alzheimer's, the individual cost is $350,000. That's inclusive of medical, but also out-of-pocket costs as well.
What would you tell somebody who's noticing something's not quite right? How can doctors and patients be more in sync during just a routine checkup?
Both seniors and physicians consider brief cognitive assessment as part of the annual wellness visit important. However, what we found is that people are not utilizing this benefit enough. About half of seniors report receiving a cognitive assessment, and only 1 in 7 have a routine cognitive assessment. Unfortunately, though, even when seniors are experiencing cognitive decline, and what we heard is that about half of seniors know they are experiencing some type of change in their memory or thinking, that only 4 in 10 of them are talking about that with their provider. They're more likely to talk to a family member or a friend. So to your point about, if a family member notices something different, everybody should be encouraging a senior to have a conversation with their primary care provider. At the same time, we want to make sure that primary care providers are being much more proactive about having this conversation with everybody 65 and older as part of that annual wellness visit. If individuals or if a family member has questions that they have about brief cognitive assessment or what should be happening on an annual basis during those routine checkups, they can visit alz.org to learn more, to also access any information on what they could be asking questions of their provider. However, if someone is noticing a change in themselves, they should talk with their doctor first.
Hopefully we help some people out there today. I lost my grandmother to this deadly disease. Thanks again for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Check out businessfirstam.com to find out where to see our entire show. And don't forget to like, follow, and share Business First AM.